migrations. I just want to talk today. I had the most craziest stuff to happen, and it just made me feel like I imagine a slave probably, was feeling back in them days. So let me rewind and go back. So I am a child of two military parents. My mother was in the Navy and my father was in the Army. Um, my granny raised me. Um, I guess like in them days, I was born in the 60s, so back in the 60s, it was like, blacks were still struggling to get decent jobs and this, that, and the other. So a lot of them would go join the service just to make a better life for themselves and their kids. But, that don't stop the fact that the kids are growing up without the natural parents to get the opportunity. Because don't get me wrong, my granny, I wouldn't trade neither one of them for the world. And my mama and daddy's decision was their decisions. They felt like it was the only way, to make it better. To raise kids back then, so they did what they had to do. I ain't tripping about that. But it don't stop the fact that these, grannies shouldn't have to raise kids. Put it like that. So they, right now everything going on about this them kneeling in the NFL and the way my granny raised us, it was like we wasn't prejudiced against nothing and nobody. Matter of fact, I never really seen white people for the first part of it, and by the time I started going to school, I was next to a little white girl on the mat in kindergarten, and she used to trip me out. I just looked at her as being another human being. So that's that on that. So it's nothing. I had a couple of incidents that happened when we was younger. Prejudice situation, throwing bottles out at you or whatever when they ride by in cars or whatever. But as far as that, I'm not a prejudiced person. Just grew up not around a lot of white people a lot. Matter of fact, at one point in time, there was a level of intimidation, and I don't understand where that came from. It had to be an incident in my younger days that probably triggered something like that. But time went on, I started working more with white people, whatever. So it's like the way I take people is the way they come. If you show me respect, I'm gonna show you respect. So my father, I hardly ever really seen him. Can probably count on one hand how many times I seen my father when I was younger. But like in 2011, I got a phone call saying you need to come take care of your daddy. So I got up and I came to get ready to take care of my father. I came from Louisville to Nashville every 2 weeks to make sure that his doctor's appointments was going the way they should, and making sure he's getting the proper treatment and all of that. Try to see what I could do to help save my father's life, because that's another thing my granny always taught me. Despite of, that's still your father. So that's the way I lived. Like I said, I had a hell of a granny. Wouldn't, trade it for the world, but still needed them parents in that household. But because of America, my parents wasn't given the opportunity to make enough money, so they had to make a decision to go serve this country. I'm a caregiver. Also, that's something I've been doing all my life. So I took care of another veteran that was older than my parents, and we used to have these conversations. And one time he was telling me about being in the service, and he was telling me how even though they were serving this country would feed the prisoners of that war before they would feed the black men. And it put something so strange in his heart that at that point in time, I felt what he was saying, but I didn't really feel what he was saying until today, and I'll get to that. My father inhaled whatever was sprayed in Vietnam that gave people Agent Orange, and he developed a lung cancer. So when I started to come back and forth, I wanted to get him into the VA because that's where my mama went to the doctor, and she thought it was a good place for him, to be, because, they need to do the stuff that they do for veterans. And so his first appointment to the VA, because at that time they was always sending your appointments, and they would always put the wrong time, date, whatever sometimes. So Daddy got an appointment letter in the mail that said 2 o'clock, when actually his appointment was at 1 or 12 or something. So the guy refused to let Daddy see the doctor. So I went back around to where they make the appointments. I explained to the lady what happened. She pulled it up out of the record, and it showed that they had made a mistake on the appointment. Matter of fact, it was in the records, and they also knew because it happened so often. Most veterans, if you talk to them at that time, they all would tell you the same thing. So the lady walked around with us to get the man, to let him know that it's okay for my daddy to see the doctor. He still refused. He didn't care what nobody said, so they turned my daddy away that day. By the time I got him home, he couldn't walk up the steps by himself. From that day on, it was like he went down. So that's the experience that I had with the VA and my father. And it's after his death, it got even deeper. But I'm not even going to talk about or discuss that. My childhood life was at a minimum because of the decisions that parents had to make back in them days. So automatically, from what I'm saying, we were being treated like dogs back then too. They were being shot down. If you look at some of the old videos of the marching, protesting, whatever, you will see or you'll hear some of the same issues that was going on. And I'm not even going to go past the 50s because, again, I was born in the 60s. Remembering the tanks rolling around in Sellacourt because everybody was on curfew when Martin Luther King was killed. I don't know how I remember it being so young, but I know that Sellacourt at that time was a safe place to be. People would sleep with their doors open on the porch because it wasn't no air. They called it the bricks and talked about how hot it was. On rainy days, everybody would run home and grab a fan and put it in the window just to go to sleep, to be able to get a cool breeze at night while you sleep. But everybody got along with everybody. Everybody took care of everybody. People didn't have much, but they took what they had and they made the most out of it. So today, to get to where I'm trying to go with this, about the kneeling, the military, you know, everybody keep talking about, oh, they're kneeling and this, that, and the other, but and they're disrespecting the veterans. I am a child of two parents that served in the military. I am also the parents of two sons that I've seen with my own eyes be treated in a way that he shouldn't be treated because he hadn't did anything to be treated that way. And even after, you know, they know who he is, he don't have a warrant, even after all of that, they come back to the car and start harassing my other son. So, until you've been a target, ever since you can remember, and even when you look back into history, we ain't been given the opportunities. Any experiment that comes about is put on us. Been put in different places, like, and yeah, you'll take a few. You'll put the most of them on a football field. Or a basketball court. You got a few that can sing. Majority of these things that you can really feel like you are human, you have to sell your soul to get there. You have to walk over other people. When them people getting down on their one knee, it's not to disrespect a soldier. What I think about war, it only needs to happen if somebody starts it. Or it's no other way around it. When war happens, it's our sons and daughters out there fighting that war. Half of them coming back in body bags and they ain't all been white. Today, I'm sitting at the VA, and these two guys are talking. This is the second time that this happened. The first time when Donald Trump won, they sit right beside me. It was 1,000 tables that they could sit at. They sit right beside me to make sure that I heard this conversation. And everybody came up. One of the ladies that sat there brought up the conversation about Trump winning, and they need to quit tripping about him winning. They didn't do all that when Obama won. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, no, they didn't do it when Obama won. Y'all did it. And the whole time the man was in that house, y'all did it every damn morning. I walk into work is what I seen on TV. Y'all doing it. I really don't understand how you take bowing down on a knee for the lives of people versus a song that you made up that you couldn't proudly even sing without black people. The first time we were allowed into the service was to help fight for this country and our freedom. Came back getting treated the same way. A lot of us fell off on drugs. Coming back messed up in the head, shell shocked. Family can't deal with them no more because they don't know how. Messed up with shit in their lung that's gonna kill them for their time. And no telling how many died, because I'm sure they were on the front lines. I'm sure of that. And there ain't no telling how many lives those black men saved of some of the same ones that's talking that shit today. But so he gets to talking and he say, this is the man at the VA, he say, what do you think about them kneeling? The other guy said, I don't think it's right for them to disrespect us. We served and died for this country. The other guy say, they need to put them on some ships and ship them off somewhere. Then he I'm sitting there on my phone, like right directly across from him with my head down, and he say, you know they 95% and tried to whisper blacks. And he just went on and on and on and on and on and on with that type of conversation. And I went downstairs for a minute. I had to go smoke. When I thought about right after Daddy was turned away for that appointment, and it takes them so long to get another appointment. Matter of fact, even before they gave him a dime of the money that he had coming, he had already died. He had been approved for 2 months, and the paperwork went back and forth from Missouri, some goddamn well, to Nashville. And before he touched or was able to spend a dime of it, he died, waiting to get some help. He was willing to do chemo, but it was a whole lot of other stuff going on. But anyway, I thought about Daddy when I was listening to this man talk, because he act like there were no black people in the service, that there hadn't been black people fighting for this country. I got more than just my mother and father that's veterans in my family. I have 2 uncles that's veterans. I know a lot of people that's veterans. I went to school with black people that end up being veterans. Some of my kids' friends are veterans, and they black. All of them are black. Well, they got some white ones too. So I go downstairs, and I'm so mad and just tripping off of, you know, they went out for a country that they will never mean shit to. They fought for a country and missed out on a big portion of their children's lives. So I go downstairs, smoke a cigarette. I'm sitting out there, about 15 other people out there smoking. And basically my feelings is just like thunder and lightning. It ain't, I don't know what's happening. So let me go chill out, because I am still at work. And I go outside, and before I sit down good, this little white lady came down the street and just fell flat on the ground. And it just threw me for a loop. It just took me out. It took me out of where I was back to where I needed to be. And it was a white lady. And nobody moved. And I'm looking like, well, damn. Because she had a girl standing with her. I don't know if it was her daughter, granddaughter, or what. But nobody moved. So I, ran over there and did what I do automatically as a human. Even after sitting and listening to these men say what they were saying, and not knowing how many white people actually feel like it. Basically, I wish that I could pick and choose the right people to help, but I can't. When that lady hit the ground, she hit the ground so damn hard, her face, everything. When she got up, her whole side of the face just had dirt, just had dirt all the way down her side, and that's all I seen was the dirt on her face, looking like some little kid, like a little fat kid, you know what I'm saying, that's done fell in the mud or something, and the dirt is like a mask on. That's all I seen. I knew it was a white lady. And I know I just chuckled just now. I'm not laughing at her falling because she could have messed herself up. I responded as a human, and I went and helped that lady. And even in the midst of seeing how cold-hearted these people are, I believe us as black people need to get together so we can survive this thing. We need to just come together, get this thing right. We got to quit killing each other. It's enough coming at us from so many different directions. And I know I don't care if you black or white. I don't want you behind me if I can't trust you. And so it's like, we got to get this together. We got to pull back to where we come from. And this shit ain't it. I just got told, so let me stay where I'm at. So I was talking to this other guy that's, we friends. I feel like it's an older white man, and he was asking me. He said, "What happened?" And I'm like telling him, exactly what went on in the conversation up there. And so he was like, now I hadn't got to the part where he said 95% on my black. I hadn't said that part yet, but I had got to the part where I was like, he said they need to send them away from here on ships, people that's getting on their knees, bowing. He said they need to send them on ships, and he said they do. And I was like, well, he said they need to send this 95% black people on those ships. He was like, oh, he shouldn't have said that. They say this is a free country. But anything you do freely, you get ridiculed, beat down, media tear your head off. They just destroy you. This is the country we fought for. The other time, like I said, it was about Donald Trump, and everybody want to say Donald Trump is racist, this, that, and that. You know, I don't know if the man racist or not. All I know is that I'm not finna go do nothing or say nothing that somebody else is saying or believe in because of the color of their skin or they title, president, vice president, whatever. I'm not gonna follow, but I don't care if you a pastor, my mama, nobody. I'm not gonna all of a sudden accumulate a feeling or this hatred for somebody else because somebody else doing it. That's ridiculous. I'm not gonna do that. So I can't understand how just because Donald Trump president, all of a sudden these racist ass people coming out. You know, the whole thing again, cause I want to keep it right there. The people that need to be shipped off on a boat somewhere is the ones that says racism don't exist. Black people are not being mistreated, shot down in the street like dogs by people that's supposed to serve. Everybody get their goddamn boot scrapped. Everybody pull themselves up, just make it even. Despite the never compensated for the conditions, it's always been like the first day they so-called let us out.